Have you ever pondered why something that once brought ease and comfort now feels rushed, disconnected, or even frustrating? As men age, there are auroras. Their bodies and minds evolve in quiet but powerful ways. What once worked perfectly in your 30s or 40s may no longer serve you at 60 or 70. Yet few conversations are had about the private routines we carry into older age, especially around masturbation. It's a topic many shy away from, yet it remains a natural and deeply personal part of life. Here's the truth. Masturbation in your senior years isn't just normal. It can be essential to your physical health, mental clarity, emotional balance, and sexual confidence, but only if it's done mindfully. The problem? Too many older men unknowingly carry outdated habits and harmful myths into this deeply personal act. These 7 silent mistakes, as identified by leading doctors and men's health experts, could be robbing you of satisfaction, contributing to decreased sensitivity, or even leading to long-term dysfunction. Let's break them down, and more importantly, help you reclaim this private space with wisdom, self-respect, and renewed vitality. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Mistake 1. Believing in the semen retention myth. Many older men fall into the trap of thinking that withholding ejaculation will somehow boost their energy, sharpen their focus, or even increase testosterone levels. It's a belief rooted in outdated ideas and internet pseudoscience. While there is some evidence that short periods of abstinence may lead to temporary hormonal shifts, the truth is far more complex and far more human. Your body was designed for natural release. When you suppress that function for extended periods, it can lead to discomfort, pelvic congestion, mood swings, and even a higher risk of prostate issues. For men over 60, those consequences aren't just inconvenient, they can be harmful to your overall well-being. Doctors emphasize that healthy, moderate ejaculation is beneficial. It helps regulate hormones, supports prostate health, reduces tension, and can even improve sleep. Holding it in for weeks or months in the hope of achieving some mythical power often leads to the opposite: frustration, irritability, and a disconnection from your body's real needs. Masturbation isn't about proving control. It's about understanding your body's rhythm, respecting its signals, and finding a healthy balance. Think of it not as indulgence, but as self-maintenance, just like stretching or breathing deeply. When approached mindfully, it can ground you, energize you, and help you feel more connected to yourself. But if you're still clinging to the belief that control equals strength, it might be time to ask, what other outdated habits could be silently limiting your pleasure and performance? You may be surprised by the next mistake, because it's one most men repeat without even realizing it. Mistake 2. Using the same grip and technique every time. Routine can be comforting, especially when it comes to personal habits developed over decades. But when it comes to masturbation, using the exact same grip, pressure, and motion every time can quietly work against you. Many older men stick to what's familiar without realizing that this predictability can lead to a loss of sensitivity and even interfere with their ability to enjoy intimacy with a partner. The body adapts. If it receives the same kind of stimulation over and over again, it becomes conditioned to respond only to that specific pattern. Over time, this can make it harder to feel pleasure, to climax, or to stay mentally engaged. You may find yourself feeling frustrated, disconnected, or even questioning your virility, when in truth, all your body needs is variety to wake things up again. The solution is simpler than most think. Switch hands, change the pressure, alter the rhythm, experiment with new motions, or even introduce safe and appropriate tools. You're not abandoning what works, you're expanding your experience. It's about keeping your nervous system engaged and your mind present. Just like your muscles grow stronger when you challenge them with new exercises, your pleasure grows richer when you allow yourself to explore new sensations. This isn't about novelty for novelty's sake. It's about staying in tune with your changing body and giving yourself permission to evolve with it. You deserve pleasure that grows with you, not fades with age. Not fades. But there's another mistake far more common than most men realize. One that could be the reason so many experiences feel rushed and unsatisfying. You may not even know you're doing it. Let's talk about it next. Mistake 3. Rushing through the experience. In younger years, many men learn to masturbate quickly out of necessity, secrecy, or habit. But as the years go by, what once was a hurried act can become a deeply ingrained pattern. And that's where the problem begins. Rushing through the experience turns it into something mechanical, something disconnected from real pleasure. It becomes more about release than about enjoyment. And for men over 60, this rushed approach can rob you of the deeper, more fulfilling sensations your body is still fully capable of experiencing. When you hurry, your body doesn't have time to build arousal gradually. Your mind doesn't stay in the moment. Instead, you race toward the finish line, barely noticing the journey. Over time, this can desensitize you, leaving you feeling underwhelmed or emotionally flat afterward. What used to be a source of connection can start to feel empty. Slowing down, on the other hand, changes everything. It gives your body space to awaken. It invites your nervous system to fully engage, and it allows your mind to reconnect with each sensation. Deep breathing, intentional touch, and slowing the pace can turn an ordinary moment into something nourishing and powerful. Pleasure isn't just about climax. It's about presence, rhythm, and curiosity. By treating this time as something meaningful instead of routine, you begin to feel more alive, more whole, and more in tune with yourself. It's not about taking longer for the sake of it. It's about rediscovering what you may have been rushing past for years. But even slowing down won't unlock your full potential if you're only focused on one part of your body. The next mistake might surprise you. It's something most men overlook entirely. Mistake 4. Ignoring the rest of your body. Most men are conditioned to focus all their attention on the genitals during masturbation. It becomes a localized, almost mechanical process. But in doing so, they miss out on an entire world of sensation, relaxation, and connection that the rest of the body offers. As you age, your nervous system becomes more sensitive to subtle stimuli. This means that areas like your inner thighs, chest, neck, scalp, or even your fingertips can become powerful sources of pleasure if you give them attention. Ignoring these areas limits the depth of your experience. It also reinforces the idea that pleasure is only about one specific outcome. Touching your own chest, massaging your legs, or simply breathing deeply into your abdomen while exploring sensation can awaken parts of your body you may have forgotten. This kind of full-body engagement isn't just pleasurable. It supports circulation, nervous system balance, and emotional grounding. Doctors who specialize in men's health often remind their patients that arousal isn't just physical, it's neurological. The more pathways you activate, the more alive and connected you feel. And when your entire body is part of the experience, climax, when it happens, feels more complete, more intense, and more satisfying. Start small. One new area of focus at a time. Then notice what shifts. The key is curiosity, not performance. But even with all the right techniques, there's one subtle mistake many men over 60 still make. It's not about what you do, it's about what you expect. Mistake 5. Unrealistic expectations based on your younger self. Many men unconsciously compare their current experiences to how things felt 30 or 40 years ago. They expect the same intensity, the same speed, the same kind of erection, the same frequency of desire. And when those expectations aren't met, they feel frustrated, ashamed, or broken. But aging isn't a malfunction, it's a transition. And when it comes to pleasure, the changes aren't necessarily bad. They're just different. Slower arousal, softer erections, longer recovery times. These are not signs of failure. They're invitations to explore a different pace, a deeper kind of pleasure, a more relaxed form of connection. The real mistake is expecting your body to behave like it did in your 20s, instead of listening to how it wants to be loved now. Imagine trying to run a marathon at 70 the way you did at 25. You wouldn't judge yourself. You'd train differently. You'd listen to your body. You'd be wise. The same goes for solo pleasure. The goal isn't to replicate the past, it's to deepen your connection with the present. When you stop chasing what was, you make space to enjoy what is. And in that space, you may find pleasure that feels richer, more grounded, and more fulfilling than anything you've known before. But there's another mistake that's even more overlooked. And it's not about technique or expectation. It's about how you feel when it's all over. If you've ever felt empty, guilty, or emotionally off after masturbation, this next point may explain why. Mistake 6. Treating masturbation like a secret shame. Society has long sent the message that masturbation is something dirty, embarrassing, or immature, especially for older adults. These messages run deep. Many men carry silent guilt, even after decades of knowing better. This internalized shame can create emotional dissonance. You may feel relief in the moment, but afterward, there's a subtle drop in mood, a sense of regret, or a mental fog. That's not because masturbation is wrong. It's because your mind hasn't been given permission to accept it as normal, healthy, and human. Emotional well-being is deeply tied to how we frame our experiences. If you treat your solo time as something shameful or juvenile, your body responds accordingly, with tension, with withdrawal, with disconnection. But when you treat it as self-care, as a form of intimacy with yourself, everything shifts. You feel more relaxed afterward. Your sleep improves. Your confidence strengthens. You stop hiding from your own needs and instead begin honoring them. There's no shame in self-respect, and there's no weakness in acknowledging that touch, connection, and release are essential at every stage of life. So ask yourself, what story are you telling yourself about your own body? Because the final mistake ties directly into that story, and it's one that can make or break your long-term sexual health. Mistake 7. Ignoring your emotional state. Masturbation isn't just physical, it's emotional. And for older men, the emotional context matters more than ever. If you approach the experience from a place of loneliness, boredom, frustration, or anxiety, those emotions don't disappear when you climax. They often intensify. This is why some men feel worse afterward, even if the physical act felt good in the moment. Your emotional state before and during masturbation sets the tone for what your nervous system remembers. If you're disconnected, your body memorizes disconnection. If you're anxious, your body memorizes anxiety. Over time, this can shape your relationship to pleasure in ways you don't even notice. But when you take a moment to check in with yourself, to breathe, to ground, to ask what you really need, you create a different kind of experience. One rooted in care, not escape. In presence, not avoidance. And that small shift can change everything. Your body remembers how it's touched. Your nervous system stores those memories. And the more you approach self-pleasure with awareness, kindness, and intention, the more healing and nourishing it becomes. So here's the truth. Plain and simple. Masturbation in older age isn't just about pleasure. It's about health. It's about staying connected to yourself. It's about honoring a part of your life that too many people ignore, rush, or hide in shame. And when done with awareness, it can become a powerful tool for vitality, confidence, and self-respect.